Hello, and welcome to another beautiful episode of Abed Life Moment. In our last broadcast, we were talking about making an impact. Sometimes in our lives, we wonder how we can impact lives. Some people in the quest to make something or to make an impression or do whatever that they take. Some we see them pursuing up their dreams. Some we see them joining forces with others just to ensure that they do something about their lives. Yes, we are on it. We are talking about making an impact. What is it that you can do to make an impact in the society that you live in? And the most important question might be, what is impact to you? How do you know that you've made impact? Is it something that just happens, or is it something that it's defined by somebody? Is it something, will you know that you've made impact because somebody says it, or is it something that you are intentional about? In this broadcast, we'll be talking about making an impact. As we had said in the previous broadcast, we're talking about a mark, that moment in your life where somebody put up something that so and so was here. And I got to think about it. What is it that our lives are for? Our broadcast resumes right after this. Welcome back to this session. We are talking about making an impact. We are talking about impacting lives. How you live your life. Have you ever looked into somebody and then you thought, would these people, is it really, how do you put it? Is it really how this person wants to be? Is this all that these people's lives are all about? Have you ever felt in a moment when you looked into somebody, or maybe you looked into the way people are doing things, and you are like, is this all really what these people really are for? Is it all that their lives can really amount for? I learned something about impact. If we are to make an impact in our lives, in our society, in the places and the people that we live with, that we get a chance to associate with, be it at work, be it at different places, then it will require us to know who we are. Let's face it, something that has left an impression in your life, in most cases, it's something that was different in the way it was cut out. Maybe if you go to a place and maybe a uniform has been defined, but somebody just comes in and they're putting on something bright or maybe something, then for sure you know that they are going to register in your mind. And I thought of impact to be something in the same way. Sometimes in us being us, we are able to make more impact than when we try to be something that we are not, with the pretext that we want to make impact. You know, that false fame, that false character, that double standard life where people will portray themselves in a particular way with the aim that they will impress a certain group or caliber of people. Impact our lives. What are our lives for? I want us to take a song by Noel. He says things I couldn't say.
오늘같이 찬바람이 불어오면 생각이 나는 그 사람, 그저 힘들었던 아픔도 계절을 타고 좋았던 기억들만 남고, 해질녘 놀진 한강을 보니 생각이 나는 그 사람. 잊어야겠지, 그래야겠지, 보내야겠지.
좋은 사람 만나 웃으며 더 사랑받으며 살아. 잘해주지 못한 내 못난 기억을 잊고 살아 힘들던 날의 기억을 행복했던 날의 추억 고마웠다고 미안하다고 비틀대며 집으로 가는 그 길을 난 많이도 울어봤고 파랗게 멍든 하늘 보며 내 속 깊은 곳도 같이 멍들고
Things I Couldn't Say. This is a song by Noel. He's some Korean pop singer. He has other amazing, beautiful songs that I think you should check out. Well, sometimes the impact that people create in our lives becomes something that we couldn't say. At times, the impact, or maybe really, we can become intentional about impacting other people's lives when now they are not there anymore. Somebody once told me something that sometimes we value and we get to appreciate the essence and the value of something when now it's no longer there. Sometimes looking back and we are like, then I could have done better. Now it'll be late. But I can tell you that it's never late to make an impact. You have to decide that I'm going to do this. I am intentional about making an impact. It's about looking into your life, and as I always say, it's about you pushing more to bring and to put yourself out there. Put what you are for there, because that is the highway, that is the right way to start if you are to make impact in your life. Our lives are about impact. This is the truth. I remember one time I was in one of the gatherings for SRC during my early tertiary days, and then a president who was campaigning for the presidential office of the SRC, he said something. He was so eloquent in speech. You know, I loved the way he would put out things, and he said in his response, as they were in a presidential debate, we were gathered in the student center, and then he said that to the guy who was in opposition. He said, you know what, either you love or you hate me, I impact your life anyway. Either you believe it or not. He said this, to be exact, he said, I'm grateful that I am your role model. And then we blushed with a laugh like, what is this guy saying? And he said, this is the truth. If you like me, you would want to be like me, or you want to do better than I do. And then if you hate me at the same time, you would say, I don't want to be like this person. I would rather now do better. So he says, my life, either you on the negative or on the positive side, I am your role model. I'm somebody you look up to. And I was like, oh, this is quite amazing. So I'm trying to tell you that your life is about impact. Your life is about changing. And the essence of us in impacting our environment is in our appreciation of who we are and what we are capable of, what we are made up of. You know, this discovery changes everything about our lives. It put us in the highway for greatness. It set us in the right track to make any impact in our society. I want to tell you something. You might look at yourself, you might despise yourself and think to yourself that I can never amount to anything. Let me tell you the secret. You know, God works in ways that are not known to men. The Bible says that his ways are way high above our ways as a human. You know, the world has a way of doing things, of main things. You know, the society that we grow up in is what we call societal conditioning. You grow up with defined roles that if you're a boy child, this is what you have to do. If you're a girl child, this is what you have to do. If you are born in this culture, this is what you are expected to do. But really, at a point in my life, I've always thought, have you ever been able to surpass the expectations? I'm not necessarily saying that you should go out and do the weird things, but if in you being weird, you turn out to be a great person. Sometimes what people define to be weird is not actually weird. I'll give an example. They might think that as a boy child, you're not meant to clean and all that. That is a wrong societal conditioning. For how long will you be clean after? For how long will you live like that? Because sometimes in us succumbing to what the society defines for us, we fail to live out and to give our best. Some may discover that talent at a later stage because they were busy trying to fit in, while at least God had called them to stand out. In one of the interviews, I was asked if you could be any person, who would that person be? If you could be anybody great, I said, if I had a chance to be anybody great, I would still be Abed, because I am positive that God has perfect intentions. God does not want a replica of anybody else. God has His deposits in my life. He has defined His purpose, and I have responded to His call in my life. And definitely, I was confident to say that I might not be where I want to be tomorrow, but I am striving. I am pressing forward. That is why I'm confident that the person that I want to be is me, because this is what I want the world to know. I want the world to have a chance to be exposed and to live with Abed. We're going to take a song by Beyonce. She says, I was here, I lived, I loved. This song will follow right after. We regret. Somebody told me that we regret the most the things that we did not do than the things that we did. Sometimes if you've put yourself out there, I always say that you have nothing to lose. Just standing out and saying, I am Abed and I'm a singer, and I'm going to do a song today. That changes a lot of things for you, because like I said, we regret the most the things we did not do, because everything that we have become today, everything that we look into ourselves and say we are, is because of the challenges, the mistakes of yesterday. The thing that shapes us maybe to be desired by other people, to be looked up to by other people, maybe have qualified us to coach some people, is because we defined this for ourselves. We responded to the challenges. As we were growing, we looked back and we said, I made this mistake, I'm not going to make this mistake. We learned something out of the situation. This is the secret. When you go through the valley, you cannot fear. But if you stay in the valley, you will fear. If you go through a situation, you can grow through it. But if you stay in it, that's when now you maybe throw yourself a pity party and you cannot be anything that much. So it's about going through a situation. It's about doing the things that you know that if you've done something, you can regret it, but you can also learn. But we regret the most the things we didn't do. What would your life be for? I want you to think about your life for some time. What will your life be for? If you don't put yourself out there, will you be confident tomorrow to say that I did my best, I gave my best shot? That's what the words of this song are really saying. I am your host, Abed The Smile Pastor. Until next time, I want to say that stay strong. Remember, it can only get better.
오늘같이 찬바람이 불